guys, Call the Death Knight, and I'm bringing my review for One Piece chapter 882. And this was a rather interesting chapter because I think it did definitely do a lot to showcase Oda's strength, which is connections of a story, which is connecting elements of his storytelling. But we'll get to that in a bit because right off I want to talk about Katakuri Dogtooth. And there's been a bit of a misconception I think people have had about Katakuri's power that it's a Logia type, but it's actually a Paramecia type. So it's the same as Luffy's, but it is an awakened devil fruit. So that just kind of adds to the fact that it's definitely being set up where this battle is definitely going to take a while. And I've honestly been thinking about how, I still very much believe that Oda is setting up where Luffy is going to get his awakening in this chapter, in this arc. Sorry, but there is one little. But I don't see the way I see it. I don't think Luffy is going to get a full-on awakening. I think what Oda's doing here is he's going to tease us with a bit of a faux awakening or first step towards Luffy getting his awakening. It's gonna be in the same vein as something like how Luffy first awakened his haki, or how he first got his, or when he first took the first steps towards developing, I think it was Gear Second or something like that. It isn't gonna be a perfect awakening. It's going to be a bit of a first level, or not even that. It's going to be a very low, it's probably going to be a low, he's probably going to have a very low, a very small understanding of what he just did. And I think as Luffy fights more and more, he's probably going to realize, this is my awakening. And from there, he's gonna learn how to control it and make it stronger. So yeah, I don't think Luffy's gonna fully get his awakening by the end of this arc, but I think he will kind of have something a little. He will kind of, it will be the start towards developing his awakening, I think, in a way. And then from there, it's just gonna get stronger and stronger until he actually does do it. Does get a full awakening and whatnot. So yeah. And another thing I noticed in this chapter is that reading this chapter is one thing I noticed, that despite their best efforts to recoil and regroup from what happened, the Big Mom pirates are slowly but surely starting to crumble. And the funny thing is, it's not even directly by the hands of the Straw Hats that this is happening. I mean, okay, yes, the Straw Hats definitely triggered the downfall, but what's really defeating the Big Mom pirates right now is the discontent that's forming among their ranks, and just their overall they're sitting around arguing and whatnot, and just their overall inexperience in dealing with a situation like this. Because being part of Big Mom's crew as well as being part of the Charlotte family, I think they've kind of naturally developed. I think they naturally developed some kind of an overconfidence and a smugness that they believed that Big Mom could never be. They could never be defeated because they saw Big Mom as an undefeatable force. Which, by the way, that's already kind of a little smug, because the most undefeatable force right now is Kaido. But aside from that, they've always seen Big Mom as one who couldn't be defeated. So, in a way, even though Luffy didn't technically beat Big Mom, the Straw Hats still technically won because Big Mom's crew is crumbling. So it's starting to crumble under the weight and stress of what's going on right now. So because they haven't really had the experience in dealing with a big attack in force like that, a big attack that's left them this crippled. So yeah, it is kind of one of those ways of twisting. It is kind of one of those ways I think Oda's trying to say we're having our cake and eating it too. He didn't technically beat Big Mom, but he definitely defeated the Big Mom pirates. But they definitely defeated the Big Mom pirates for sure. But even then, we still gotta admit that Big Mom is still, even then, Big Mom is still kind of one of the current threats too, because she definitely is after. She's definitely after she still has this mental breakdown, and she's headed to Cacao Island in order to get her wedding cake finally. Uh, but uh, but what's and but I get the feeling that I don't think, like, for me, I don't think Sanji is going to be the one. I think Sanji's going to be long gone, but by the time that happens, and I think it's only going to be Chiffon and Pudding who end up presenting the cake to her, and then say and then say look, Mom, can you just stop this? And then she says nope, and decides to go after the Straw Hats anyway. But that gets into my next point, which is the Germa. In the last page, the last page of this chapter depicts the Germa are planning something, but the question had me saying, what is it? What are they doing? And why they would want to know the location of the Straw Hats. First thought was that they were planning. They were trying to find the quickest and easiest way to get in order to get away from Big Mom and get off the island. But then I realized a bit of a contrast here, where I realized a bit of an interesting dual perspective, where both Tamago and Ichiji had basically said to had basically given out the exact same orders, which was to deploy every single available ship you could. So that then leads to my next theory, which is I think the Germa are planning to set up a bit of a blockade in order to help the Straw Hats get away. That's right now my biggest that's right now my 100% certainty type theory of what's going to happen. But in that situation, that also raises a death flag on them, unfortunately. So they probably will, in fact, die this time around. But even more than that, like I said before, there was a lot of everything I explained to you guys just now. They were all connecting elements of this particular chapter. Because the way I see this whole climax going down is Big Mom arrives on Cacao Island. Pudding probably tells Sanji to escape at that point. So Sanji decides to book it, and then Pudding and Chiffon go out and present the cake to Big Mom. Chiffon present the cake to Big Mom, and after that, after Big Mom's eaten her fill of cake, she basically agrees with Tamago's orders of going after the Straw Hats. Pudding and Chiffon try and reason with her and say no. I don't want to do that. No, leave them be. At that point, I think that's where the Germa side of things come in, which is that the Big Mom pirates end up pursuing the Straw Hats, and then the Germa come in and put up a whole blockade in order to prevent the Big Mom pirates from going after from the Big Mom pirates from going after the Straw Hats. And then I think on Luffy's side, I think he's going to find an available mirror or something in order to pass through. I don't know, or wait, they broke all the mirrors, so, but yeah, like, and then from there, that's how the Straw Hats effectively get away from Big Mom and her crew. I know there are a couple other miscellaneous details for sure that definitely need to be covered, but I think that is kind of like the core base of what's going to happen in this particular climax of things, to be honest with you. But yeah, guys, that's my little theory. What do you think? Did you like this review? Did you enjoy the video? Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of NA, signing off. Later, guys.